No, hold on. This is 5 minutes funnier. Hi, and welcome to 5 Minutes Funnier, the comedy how-to. And this week I want to talk about the genius of Scott Faulconbridge. And to be very clear here, Scott is going to hate that title. If you're not familiar with Scott, he's really worth looking up on YouTube. And if you can get a chance to see him live, absolutely want to see him live. He's been performing for years. He's traveled around the world. He has worked with some of the biggest names in comedy. But more than that, he is a student of comedy. He has learned so much and he has passed so much on to other comedians like myself. I'm totally blessed to know this man and to have had the opportunity to perform and learn from him. Now, the reason why I want to talk about Scott today is for a show that he did 12 years ago at the Winnipeg Comedy Festival. I'm going to try and put the link in down below, but by all means, try and look it up if that link doesn't work. It is worth the experience. What is so great about that performance is that he gets 6 applause breaks in a 7-minute routine. And he gets them not by being excessively clever, but excessively perceptive. I think that's the best way to put it. Because Scott talks about things that we've all experienced. And he says things that we all sit there and go, I wish I'd said that. Take a look at the bit about Home Depot and the absence of people to serve you. The audience, he makes his joke, and it's not even I wouldn't even consider it a great joke, but it is a great joke for the audience. And that's what's important. And they react. They don't just give him a laugh, they give him applause because this is what they have experienced as well. And when Scott gets up there and airs his grievances about the way he was treated, the audience is identifying with that. It's I wish I had said that moment for the audience. They're getting their own back for a situation that they've never had the opportunity to do that. So it's a big deal for them. Now, as I implied earlier, it's not a terribly clever line. In fact, none of the big applause breaks are terribly clever lines, which is weird because as comedians, we kind of think we have to be excessively clever in order to get the big laugh. And what Scott does, and by the way, this does not mean he's not clever. He's very clever. In fact, the way he arranges his set should tell you that on its own. But he identifies with the audience. He knows what they are going to react to. And that's what makes him something of a genius. He's not alone. Let me be clear. There's a lot of other comic geniuses out there who have learned that it's not about their experience, it's about the audience's experience. I just want to intervene to make sure I'm not leaving you with the wrong impression here. Scott did not write this material with the intention of getting applause. It just happened to work out coincidentally that it appealed to the audience, they identified with it, and as a result, they gave him an applause break. And he was prepared for it because he didn't just walk out and do this fresh on that stage. He's been to a lot of places trying the material out, tightening it. He knows where responses are going to come from. He also knows how to deal with it. Yes, you could get applause from being very, very clever or just doing something that appeals to the audience for whatever reason. What I'm saying here is that the chances are better that you'll get an applause break if the audience can identify with what you're talking about. So please do give a click down into the link I provide down below and watch Scott in action. It really is an eye-opener. That's it for 5 Minutes Funnier. Please hit the subscribe button. That way you'll not miss a single one of these episodes. And if you enjoyed this episode, especially after you see Scott, please hit the like button. It really helps us reach other comedians. And that's a big deal because our comic community is relatively small. It is. I know it doesn't seem that way when you're looking for a gig and there's 15 other comedians looking for the same spot, but it is a small community. So if you can share us with other comedians, it will go a long way in helping us reach more people. And more importantly, help us all become funnier. Because if we're all funnier, we're all going to be more successful as a result. So as always, stay funny.